Good afternoon. So this is lab submission number 6 regarding the axial and appendicular skeleton. This lab reviews the anatomic position where the body is facing forward and the palms of the hands are also upward and the feet are facing forward. So today's presentation focuses on the bones, and one aspect of the bones connects with their surface markings. They have a variety of surface features depending on their function and location. This can include articulations, projections, and holes. An articulation is where two bones come together to create a joint, for example, the knee joint. Projections are raised markings of the bones above the surface. An example of this would be the spinous process of the vertebra. A hole is an opening or a groove in the bone that allows blood vessels and nerves to enter. An example of these would be the foramen of the spine. These are holes through which blood vessels can pass and nerves as well. As to different sections of the body, we have the pectoral girdle, which consists of the scapula, the shoulder bone here, and the clavicle, the collarbone. We also have a pelvic girdle, which consists of the hip bone and connects to the leg. Additionally, we have the sacrum and the coccyx. Types of bones: we have long bones within the body that are cylinder-shaped, and they are longer than they are wide. They provide strength and mobility to the arms and legs. Long bones move when muscles contract, and I'm pointing to a long bone, which is the femur or the humerus of the arm. We have the axial skeleton, which is along the central axis. Up at the top, we have the skull, we have the nasal bone, we have an ethmoid bone, we have the mandible, which is the lower jaw, we have a sphenoid bone, the frontal bone of the forehead, the lacrimal bone, which is to the interior of the eye, which is the bony structure for the lacrimal duct. We have, moving towards the back side, well, let's see, we have the maxilla, the upper jaw, and the vomer, which is located within the cavity of the nose. Turning the skull around, we can see the mandible from the back, the rear view of the mandible. We have the occipital at the base of the skull. We have the temporal bones to the side. In the vertebral column, we have the atlas bone at the very top that enables us to rotate the head back and forth, and the axis, which further enables rotation. Going down, we have the cervical vertebra, the thoracic vertebra, the lumbar vertebra, the sacrum, and the coccyx. In the thoracic cage, we have the sternum in the center. We have something called the manubrium of the sternum, which is covered by a thin layer of cartilage. We have the true ribs, which are up at the top. These are the first 7 ribs that are actually attached to the sternum. We have the lower 5 ribs, which do not directly connect to the sternum, and they are known as the false ribs. And then at the very base, we have the floating ribs, which are really attached mostly to the muscular girdle that is within the cavity here. In the appendicular skeleton, we have, again, the clavicle, the scapula to the back, the humerus of the arm, the ulna, and the radius. Within the hand and wrist, we have two rows of small bones. It's kind of challenging to see in this model, but these are the scaphoid, the lunate, the triquetium, and then down into the lower bones of the hand, which are the hamate, the capitate, the trapezoid, and the trapezium. Then we come down into the phalanges of the fingers. Within the ankle and the foot, we have an analogous structure. We need to lift up to show. The calcaneus is the heel. The navicular bone is located on the medial side of the foot. Cuboid bones are named because of their shape. And cuneiform bones, also phalanges, are in the toes. You have a metatarsal, which is at the top of the foot, and the talus, which is the lower portion of the ankle joint. Thank you.